Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Friday, the 16th of January. New Zealand's embassy in Iran has been temporarily closed, with operations shifted to Turkey. A Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade spokesperson says all diplomatic staff flew out overnight. They say our ability to provide consular assistance in Iran remains extremely limited, and New Zealanders in the country should leave now. Thousands of Iranians have reportedly been killed in a violent government crackdown. A man who murdered a Scottish tourist with a baseball bat when he was a teenager has been denied parole for the 7th time. Aged 14, Jache Broughton killed Karen Aim in Taupō in 2008 as she walked home from a party. Jacob Jones reports.
He'd been using the bat to smash school windows. A recent psychological assessment found Broughton has a high risk of violent reoffending and would have high needs if returning into society. He'll remain on a reintegration pathway and will appear before the parole board later again this year.
Police won't be responding to statements from the family of the 60-year-old who died in a shooting at Waitarere Beach this week, understood to be Benjamin Timmins. A 46-year-old woman, 21-year-old man and 17-year-old boy were also critically injured at the home. Tobias McIntosh reports.
Timmins' sister Rachel O'Grady says her brother was at the end of his psychological rope. Police say it's imperative investigation teams are given the time and space to conduct a robust investigation. They say it's important to remember 3 people are fighting for their lives in an incredibly tragic situation.
Good news for our manufacturing sector. The latest BNZ, Business NZ Performance of Manufacturing Index, shows activity's risen to its highest point in 4 years. Here's business reporter Michael Circle.
The result lines up with other indicators out this week, showing the sector's more optimistic than others and is starting to hire again. It's a positive sign after a string of closures over the past 2 years. Manufacturing Minister Chris Pink says on these numbers, manufacturing's now growing faster here than in major economies like the US, China, Japan, the UK and Australia.
A bump in Kaikoura's visitor numbers in November, up nearly 30,000 year on year. The town had roughly 220,000 visitors. Destination Kaikoura Chair Chris Sturgeon says operators are so glad to see more tourists, they're not worried about the added workload.
There'll no doubt be some very tired people at the end of the summer, but we're always with a smile on our face, welcoming visitors to the town.
More laughter than tears at Sir Tim Shadbolt's funeral. Invercargill's longest-serving mayor died last week at the age of 78. Many speakers poked fun at his former life as a prolific activist, including 33 arrests. Son Robert says his dad's run-ins with authorities led to some unusual behaviour.
When I went to get my first passport, I had some pushback and realised my birth certificate had my official name as Graham. I'd never been called Graham, we never used it with Dad, but I figure in his thinking this will make it harder for authorities to track us down.
To sport, and the rugby world has reacted in shock to the sacking of Scott Robertson as All Blacks coach. Former England star Stuart Barnes labelling the departure as a victory for Ardie Savia. There will only be 12 boats competing in this weekend's season-opening Sail GP race after the Spanish team pulled out. Their boat was damaged in practice. New Zealand athletes will receive a medal-winning bonus via team clothing supplier Kathmandu for the next Winter and Summer Olympic Games. That is your latest news fix. We'll have another one for you tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.